And joining us on that big international story today is Anna Oakes, a journalist based in New York. Appreciate your joining us, Anna. I've just seen US President Donald Trump on Truth Social saying that Charlie Kirk was a martyr for truth who's been assassinated because of the rhetoric of the radical left. He's holding them directly responsible for the assassination of his aide, Charlie Kirk. How do you respond to that? Do you agree with what Donald Trump is saying?
Well, first, I think it's a really devastating event that has happened. I think it's just an indication of how what a tragic situation the entire country finds itself in, that people are driven to such violent forms of action. I will say they have. It seems like they're looking for a specific person, but there's no information on the motives of the shooter. So while President Trump is portraying this as a politically motivated action from the left, we don't know if the shooter was from the left, in fact.
But just to press you on what Donald Trump has said in that video, for years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. Is this also a reflection then of the hyper-polarization that we are seeing in the United States, quite apart from the easy availability of guns, but just a hyper-polarized issue where the moment a killing like this happens, there will be these attacks made by one side on the other?
I think absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is one in an increase in political violence that we've seen over the past several years. So actually, most incidents of political violence have been coming from right-wing extremists, but I think it's absolutely an indication of polarization. I think that there's always an impulse to blame this on rhetoric, or to really find out what the reasons for this are, or to attribute blame. But until we know who the shooter was and what their motives were, I think it's important to stay cautious.
Okay. Don Rosamondo, also defense analyst, joins me from Washington, D.C. Mr. Rosamondo, what's your sense? Is this a killing which has been occasioned by the ideological positions that Charlie Kirk took, or is it premature to suggest who is behind it, because the US president has already blamed the radical left?
Well, let's put it this way. This looked like, has all the earmarks of a professional hit. I mean, the way that the shooter was lined up with the stage, the fact that the bullet hit Charlie Kirk in his carotid artery, which would have killed him instantly. There's a lot of talk in intelligence circles about the potentiality of whether a foreign intelligence organization, or maybe even the Latin American cartels, sending a message, because Charlie Kirk was one of President Trump's strongest supporters, and one of the people who was most instrumental for him returning to power. I mean, if it was the cartels, it would be like, don't come after us, we'll come after you, and we'll hurt you with the people you care about the most.
But do you go along? We've seen in recent times senators being targeted, people who've taken strong ideological positions becoming very vulnerable. Is there that element which has crept into American politics, especially after Donald Trump's taken over, that American society is just too hyper-polarized, and therefore any public comment immediately attracts huge attention from those across the ideological divide? Could that be a reason?
Well, I think it's too early to assess a motive. I mean, I think that the fact that this was set up, and the way that the assassin was able to escape, shows this was not just simply someone going crazy with an AR-15 or going crazy with a political figure. This has all the earmarks of a professional hit job.
Should that, therefore, Mr. Rosamondo, make it more worrying that if it is a professional hit job, it obviously suggests that a huge security lapse, quite apart from the easy availability of guns, which is now a major issue across the United States. But the fact that you're saying it's a professional hit job should actually make it even more worrying, some would say.
Well, let's put it this way. The security was supposed to be paid for by Turning Point USA. No one could have, in their wildest mind, have anticipated this kind of hit. I mean, it was done with a bolt-action rifle using a high-powered 30-06 cartridge that would not have been covered by any of the gun control measures promoted by Democrats. So I think that this is going to cause a lot of high-profile individuals to reconsider how they engage people for their own safety.
Anna Hoax, as a final word, do you believe that this is in a way a wake-up call for American society and politics, which, as I said, in recent times has seen other such killings take place? Is this something that will wake up the system as to the toxicity of some of the kind of discourse taking place in American society at the moment?
I certainly hope so, but I do think it's really important not to draw conclusions or spread theories about the motives of the shooter before we have actual information. So I think it's quite irresponsible to be even just repeating.
It's the President of the United States, not me. It's the President of the United States who's already attributing motives.
Yes, and also the speaker right before me, John, I think saying that this could possibly be an act of cartel violence. There's absolutely no evidence or motives to back that idea. So I think we really need to be careful in feeding into these like xenophobic language that this language itself is feeding this polarization.
You want a final word on that, John? Are you feeding into the xenophobic language?
That, my colleague here has little understanding of geopolitics or of geostrategy. It has absolutely nothing to do with, I mean, the fact that she's bringing in race here is a sign of her lack of information and her,
I didn't say race
her
at all.
failure of information and her desire to present propaganda and disinformation.
Okay, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. I think what is very clear is that this has certainly shaken America. It has certainly provoked the President of the United States to make pretty strong comments, already virtually accusing the radical left of being behind it. We'll wait and see as to who really was responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Thank you both very much, Anna and John, for joining me there from New York and Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you.